Well, we're out here at Stoller Family Estate. I'm with Jason. We're out in the fields. We're above the Experience Center. It's early March, and we need to be thinking about pruning our grapes.
Yeah, it's time to, if you have a lot of grapes like we do, it's time to be winding things down if you could. But if you're a homeowner and you have a few grapes, get out there in the next few weeks before you start to see buds push and get bigger and get these things pruned.
You know, because a lot of people that are getting into growing grapes in their yard, be it wine or table grapes, they're not sure how to prune those. So what do we need to be looking for on what to do with our grapevines?
Well, you're looking to save buds. Each one of these buds was a leaf last year on young wood, 1-year-old wood. That's where shoots are going to come from that have the fruit. Okay. And so what we do in the vineyard is everything's laid down on a wire. Last year, this shoot was laid down on a wire. We come through and remove this 2-year-old wood to make room for the 1-year-old wood to put onto the wire in a renewal sort of pruning method. So what we would do 3 main passes. The pruning pass is coming through and cutting this big 2-year-old wood and getting it ready to be pulled. The brush pulling pass is the next pass. Okay. We'll come through and pull this out of the old wire and trellis system, making room. Thank you. Yeah. And
so
we got this one here.
Removing everything that you just pruned
Clear
off.
the area, okay. Open the catch wires up and get it so that then pass number 3, we take the young 1-year-old canes and we're gonna vine here, cut it about halfway.
Okay.
So we'll do this and we'll save a little and fix that later. But then we do a single wrap on the wire like that. And then I have these little wire tying tools. We come through and tie it to the wire right here at the tip, and that prepares us for a shoot in each one of these positions to grow and have 1 or 2 clusters for the fruiting year.
So you're removing a lot of the material off the plant.
You have to open things up, get ready for this is an important step because it sets you up for airflow and bud number and count through the year, so you don't have such a dense canopy. And that's a common issue you see in a lot of home-owned situations where there's so many shoots and there's so much material in there, you end up getting disease because airflow can't through. I say open it up. Grapes love heat and light to a certain degree, and that's how you're going to get things ripe. If it's too crowded with shoots packed into a dense area or leaves that are crowding the clusters, they won't get ripe, and then you won't get that sugar that you're looking for, especially in wine grapes.
Right. So it's definitely good tips because I've had grapes in my yard and I grew up with them, and it's never pruned them enough. And I think not getting the fruit on there or having enough hours or daylight to get that fruit to ripen.
Yeah, that's an issue. So, don't be afraid to come in and take a lot of that material away. Like I said, each one of these buds is going to swell and grow into a shoot with fruit on it. And there is a common problem with putting too much fruit on a single vine or on vines all close in together that, not all of it's just going to get there if you leave too much. And out here we practice, we come through and actively drop fruit in late summer to make sure that what remains can get to that finish line. We have to hit very high sugars. Table grapes, they don't have to ripen as much to get the flavors and edibility that we're looking for, so you can leave more fruit on those.
And for like the homeowner, they may have it up on a trellis or an arbor that's not necessarily on do they similar pruning?
Well, you could go to the spur pruning method there, and we do have some varieties, earlier blooming varieties than this Pinot Noir here, like Chardonnay. Chardonnay will bloom earlier, it'll break bud earlier, so it's a week ahead of Pinot at the finish line, which is which is in late September here in the valley. So in that case, you can do what's called cordon prune or spur prune method, which means you leave this 1-year shoot to age into a trunk or to a permanent piece of wood, and then each one of these shoots you can prune back to two little buds. So these would come out, you'd prune back to 2 buds, and then a year from that you'd have 2 shoots coming from those points, and you'd manage that in that regard. And we have some examples of that here at Stoller, but it's very uncommon for wine grapes in this valley, more common for home situations or table grapes. That's how I do it at my house, because it's also very easy to do.
Well, Jason, we appreciate all the information on this, and it is time to get out in your yards and do this now. We don't want to damage our crops for this summer. So, You know, so for more information on pruning the grapes, you know, Stoller's a great wealth of information on this, or you can go to the Garden Time website and for more information. So Jason, we appreciate being out here, and we're looking forward to going and hitting that
Yeah.
experience center.
Thank you, Ryan.